Today I bring you the procedure for building plans approval in Uganda, and I would like you to understand that this is a standard procedure, but sometimes these are varying depending on the jurisdiction under which your site falls. And this, I mean, is it within the city council, the municipal council, the town council, or district? And currently, the National Building Review Board, which oversees building control and management in Uganda, is advocating for online applications, which have seen it doing very well with the Kampala Capital City Authority, though these other cities and other authorities haven't yet adopted the system. But we also usually encourage the client to handle their process, but sometimes for technical reasons and complexity, you may ask your architect or engineer or a professional in the related field to help you run the process. And in the first place, you need to have certain technical documents in place. First and foremost is proof of land ownership, such as a land title or a lease agreement, sometimes also a sales agreement, especially for non-surveyed land, though we usually encourage people to survey their plots or their land before developing it. And you also need a site plan, which is produced by a certified land surveyor. And this, I may say, includes the boundary opening report. This is to give proof of the boundaries and, information about the boundary and the current state of the said land. Another is the architectural drawings now. What people usually know is the building plans. Of course, we have the architectural drawings, which have floor plans, elevations, site layout, site location, things like the building sections, the elevations, things of the sort, and other architectural details. They have to be signed and stamped by a certified architect. And also structural drawings, which are to do with the structural integrity of the building. This would have things like columns, beams, trusses, the slabs, and all things of the sort, also signed and stamped by a registered structural engineer. And this is usually for multi-story buildings. You also need a geotechnical report, and also usually for multi-story buildings, and also projects which require massive excavations. Then you also need an environmental impact assessment for projects which have an impact on the environment. You also, another additional, you also need a photocopy of your national ID, and sometimes they also ask for an LC1 letter of the area where the site is found. And with all these documents ready, one of the first things is an application fees. You pay an application fees of 50 to 100,000, or as is set by that authority. Though I've not seen so much with these other authorities, the system has been so much with the KCCA. And so upon submitting your documents, you also submit proof of payment of that application fees. And now the building committee will review or evaluate your building plans or your documents. They may ask for revisions, adjustments, or any other documents that should be accompanied. And thereafter, you will have an assessment, of course, basing on the type of building. Is it a temporary structure or a permanent structure? Is it a bungalow or multi-story? And also the square meters, the area coverage of the building, the square meters it has. Usually there is a fees paid per square meter, and for boundary walls it's per linear meter. And thereafter, we will have the first or preliminary site inspection, and the building committee may come or send a representative to visit the site to confirm the document authenticity and the suitability of the site for the said proposed project. And thereafter, actually, the application process or the timeline for reviewing your building plans is about 14 working days. Then the approval process, now approving the building plans, will take about 30 working days. And some of them go beyond this, depending on their schedule and things of the sort. So thereafter, if you now have permission granted, you can start your project, but then we'll have those continuous visits during the construction phase. This is to ensure that what you're doing is on plan and as agreed and approved. Then after constructing the building, it's also recommended to apply for an occupational permit, which takes about within 14 working days. And this is to that final inspection to ensure that the building is safe for occupation, and therefore you can get an occupation permit at a given fee, which is also assessed according to the square meters. The other thing I may also need to let you know is that your building permit runs for 5 years, and if after the 5 years you haven't approved, you may need to renew it. In case of anything that perhaps I've left out or you need more clarification, feel free to ask. Thank you.